talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about. Let's talk about. Yeah. Let's talk about Conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Happy Monday. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about whatever it is we want to chat about. And today we're talking about juicing. How to juice and be juicy. Yes, juicy men, juicy women. That's all on deck tonight. So, my very special guest is Dr. Jeva St. Who is from South Florida, but also a rattler and a fellow African dance enthusiast. And so I am super excited and delighted to have her on with me tonight. But before I bring her on, I need to hear from you. We are live on Conversations with Nicole Facebook, Conversations with Nicole YouTube, as well as on my LinkedIn account, Nicole Everett. But I want to hear from you. So if you will put your city and state in the comments so we can give you a shout out. This is an interactive live and we fully expect to hear from you. We're going to be talking about, is juicing worth the squeeze? Is it better to juice or eat your fruits and vegetables raw? We'll talk about that. All right. So my mom is here in Miami. Thank you for being here, Ma. I appreciate you. She is my number one fan. I love it. All right. So some more folks will be joining us and we'll be giving them a shout out. I see Miss Tracy Golay in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here with us. Please tag a friend. Let them know they need to be here. This is going to be a lively conversation. I definitely want to know who is juicing out there. I have kind of tried it a while ago, but it's been a minute. So Jeva is going to give us all the juice as it relates to juicing. So y'all, please like, please share, tag a friend, let them know again they need to be on here. So I am not gonna delay our conversation, which means I'm gonna go ahead and share some of Dr. Jeva St. bio. She is, excuse me, a personality psychologist with a PhD from Howard University, HU. And I say that because my son is a Howard alum as well. So, as a double alumna of Florida A&M University, she serves as a university professor, career coach, and researcher specializing in psychometric development. Dr. St. is also the CEO of Jeva Juice, where she practices as a juice therapist. Yes, a juice therapist. Additionally, she is producing a forthcoming documentary entitled Right Together, and two is spelled TWO. Hopefully, she'll tell us a little bit about that, which explores the state of Black male-female relationships, and is a co-founder of Healing Mother Wounds LLC. Healing Mothers to Heal Communities. Y'all, help me welcome Dr. Jeva St.
Thank you for that welcome.
My pleasure. Welcome, welcome. How you doing tonight?
I am very excited to be here.
Good, and we are excited to have you. Excited to have you. So, tell the people
Oh, I just
who. It's okay. Who is Jeva St. Not what you do, but who are you?
well. I, I say if I was not a psychologist, I would be an artist in some way. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy art. Most of my friends are artists. I
Okay.
like to paint. I like to make jewelry, and I am really a lifelong student. When I am curious about something, I'll go learn it all on my own. Completely investigated in the subject matter, so I can help other people. I'm just excited to learn information to share. Like that's just part of my personality.
Mm.
But yeah, I'll say if I wasn't in this space, I would somehow find myself in this space sharing.
Okay, very good. So, lifelong learner, love it. And so, tell us a little bit about your juicing journey, and how you became a juice therapist.
Well, that story is not one of my favorites, but sometimes the journey pulls you into what you will become.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I while I was in graduate school at Howard, I fell ill with no clue with what was going on with me. I had like really strange symptoms going on to foods that I was normally would eat with no previous issues, right? So I experienced like inflammation, uh,
Mm.
adrenal fatigue, insomnia, night sweats, folliculitis. The list went on and on.
Wow.
And mind you, I would say I was a healthy eater. Like I was following the health food trends, the healthy eating trends at the time. And uh, I just never put my finger that it was something that I was eating that was making me feel that way.
Wow.
And so uh essentially I just got tired of going to the doctor's office, right? Like
Mm.
I didn't feel like they were listening to me. I didn't feel like they were communicating between each other about my lab results
Mm-hmm.
uh, to give me the right thing that would, bring me out of what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got frustrated, really, and I ran into a friend, and he said one thing that just set me off. Uh, and I ran into him at the doctor's office, and he said, "This doctor is a really good doctor. I've been seeing her for years."
Mm.
And for me, I was like, "Oh no, that's a red flag." I don't want to see a doctor for years and years, especially if it's not my primary care. So uh I from that moment I was just over it all, and I started doing some research on alternative health options.
Okay.
Juicing was something I was already like juicing on my own, but not like for real, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
um, but I fell upon one of Dr. Aris Latham's videos on YouTube, and immediately I sent him a message. I told him my circumstance, and about 2 or 3 weeks later, I was in Costa Rica training with him,
Oh, wow.
and the rest is history. Yeah.
Interesting. So, for those of us who are not familiar with Dr. Laurent, can you tell us a little bit more about him?
Dr. Aris Latham, he is considered to be the the father of raw food gourmet.
Hmm.
And he teaches how to juice, how to prepare raw meals, like raw food cuisine. Essentially, like it's delicious. I swear, it's the best food I've ever had in my life. He had the best kitchen. Like his kitchen was completely alive. Like everything was fresh, and I
Wow.
had never seen or experienced that before. And I was sold. I was like, this is where I need to be. This is what's going to change my life. And spending, I think it was like 10 days in Costa Rica with him
Mm-hmm.
every day for like 6 or 7 hours, we were juicing and learning how to combine foods. uh and it changed my life and it saved my life.
Wow. Amazing. 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 All right. We got a few more folks that have joined us. I see you, Miss Pumpkin, here in Tallahassee. Thank you for joining us. Rashad Jordan. There's Dr. St. Ford giving you some praying hands.
Mhm.
We got Sharice DeBois in Atlanta. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Marcus Boston down in the Tampa area, and Mr. Ozzy Daniel, a clinician in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Thank you for being here, Ozzy. So we are talking about how to juice and be juicy. I got Dr. Jeva St. Fort on. She is a juice therapist, and just was telling us a little bit about her juicing story. So why juice?
Well, juice it's leverage, right?
Okay.
The my company Jiva Juice is what I what I gained is what I teach
Okay.
essentially. So it's a way for people to take responsibility for a large part of improving their life and taking it, taking power into their own hands by adopting a juicy lifestyle. And
Okay.
and and for me, a juicy lifestyle, it is about being informed. Juice, as you know, we used to say, juice is information, right? I got the juice, I got the info. And
Mm.
provide information for people who are at a place where they don't understand what's happening with their body. And I pinpoint with research on information that can help them improve their life. So it's not just about knowing the information, it's about applying that knowledge that you learn, which is the thing. You must apply the knowledge to stay juicy, and that is through juicing. And we show people how to be disciplined and activate that discipline through doing it pretty much every day or every other day, for practice, and just to keep it simple and safe. I know people, they think they're doing it the right way, but they're causing harm through juicing in some ways. And so, juice, you have to, while it's good for your body and it gives you leverage, it gives you energy, and it clears out your body of toxins.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it allows your body to like remove stuff that is kind of hanging in there for a while.
Mm.
And once you release that on a normal basis, you'll feel more energized. And that's where that juice comes up. Like you feel charged. And it's a process, but we get you there.
Okay. So we got a few more folks that have joined us, but I'm taking notes. So I want to circle back to some of the things that you said. So we got Miss Brittany on with us. Thank you for being here, Brittany. We got Mr. Antoine Wood in the ATL. He said, "What's good? I need to get on this juicing." All right, good. My brother, I'm so glad you're on with us. No, Ozzy, I did not have my beats today, but I need to. So Ozzy is our kind of local nutritionist of sorts. He has done some study on and some talk conversation on herbs and things of that nature. So he is our kind of local nutrition dietitian person. The spiritual midwife, the path to becoming a healer is to first have the need to heal yourself. Yes, love that.
Mhm.
Indeed. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Love the topic. Dr. St. Ford. Maya is on. Thank you for being here, Maya. All right. Kaylee, the abundant
Kylie.
Kylie. Okay. Hey, sacred sister, she said. And we got
Yay.
my freshman brother Ish in Gainesville. Thank you for being here. So
Yeah.
I wanna pause and ask our viewers. I want to get y'all involved. How many of you all currently juice? How many of you all currently juice? Let us know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. How many of you currently juice? And not that you have to do it every day, but maybe you do it a couple times a week or even once a week for that matter. Let us know in the comments. No judgment here. Safe space.
Mhm.
Let us know. How many of you currently juice? We got Miss Kesey on. Thank you for being here. She's here in Tallahassee. And Miss Janetta Nelson. Thank you for being here. She is here in Tallahassee as well. I'll be on her show on Thursday. All right. She said I would like to start juicing. Okay, and that's part of this conversation tonight. So thank you for that, Janetta. All right, Rashad, hand raised. Okay, wonderful. All right, Ish says sporadically when I feel the need for a good cleansing. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool, 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 cool. All right. All right. Well, maybe some others will chime in just a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of poll the live viewers to see what their if they if they juice on any type of regular basis. All right. Hold on, Antoine. I was literally just put on 2 weeks ago by my lodge brother who gave me some fresh apple juice. Wonderful. Okay.
It does hit different when it's fresh.
Does hit different when it's fresh.
Mhm.
Yes. Sharice, I buy it. It's too messy for me, but I will consider doing it myself soon. Okay, cool. So let's dive a little deeper. You mentioned um people maybe not juicing properly. I didn't even think there was such a thing that you could be juicing in error. So
Yeah,
talk
got
talk
it.
to us a little bit about that.
Well, the improper combinations.
Mm,
So in juicing, there are different families.
mm,
So we have fruits that belong to the the acidic family, such as citrus, fruits. We have fruits. Excuse me. We have another family that belong to the subacid family of
mm,
fruits, and we also have a sweet family and melons. And
mm.
sometimes when we're excited to start juicing, we just throw everything in the blender or the juicer, and because it's colorful, we
That's what I thought you do.
down. And I made that mistake myself when I first started. But it is sometimes, I road to hell is paved with good intention, right? You have the right intention
Right.
to do the right thing and treat your body nice through juicing. But because we are ill-informed about how, we will put the wrong combinations together. And
Mm,
when that happens, um, there in your digestive system, it's the wrong chemistry explosion going on in there, right? So
mm,
your intention is to drink juice to lose weight or lose waste, you end up causing more harm because now you're creating fermentation because the fruits are not properly combined,
mm.
and then you start recognizing that you are expanding um, at the waistline. Oh, I see my mom in here. Hi, mom.
Okay, is that Berenice?
Yes. Hey,
Okay. Hey mom, thank you for being here.
name pop up. But yes, so when that fermentation happens, you start to expand at the waist, and then you start to feel sluggish, right? So yes, it is wrong chemistry in the gut, and you don't understand why you're feeling tired, and you might, instead of continuing to juice because you feel that bad feeling, you're like, forget it, I don't want to do this, or
Mhm,
um some people are afraid to keep going to the bathroom, which juicing can, cause that to happen. But
mhm.
we want to get into the practice of releasing, digestion that is just in there, right?
Right, 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 right. Yes. All right. We got Dr. B on. He said, "Peace, be juicy." Let's see. Rashad, I had pomegranate juice with my dinner.
Mhm.
LOL. Okay. All right. Very good. So you mentioned combinations. You mentioned juice groups. So acidic, subacidic, sweet melons.
Right. And here's the thing, melons is, let's say it's a jealous fruit, right? It's made up of 95% of water,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't allow space for any other fruit to be paired with it without causing fermentation in the gut. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you are consuming a watermelon, good rule, eat it alone or leave it alone, right? So When you go to the grocery store and you see in the market that they have these
Fruit cups.
fruit cups and it's all fruits mixed up together. If you see a melon in there and it's other, don't.
Oh yeah, it's melon, it's grapes, it's
All
strawberries,
that
it's
alone.
pineapples, all that
Right.
together.
But if you're juicing it, it may be okay.
No.
But just a rule of thumb, leave it, eat alone or leave it alone.
Okay, I heard that. We got a few more folks chiming in. Midwife Marissette here in Dallas,
Right?
Texas. All right, thank you for joining us. Amanla is on. Thank you for being here. She said yes, she juices. All
Right.
right, and we got Miss Tanika on with us. Thank you for joining us as well.
Mhm.
So, all right. So y'all heard that about melon. It is a jealous fruit. She said 95% water. So don't pair it with anything else. Eat it alone. Yes, Antoine. Eat it alone or leave it alone. Yes. All right. So that is a good nugget. All
Mhm.
right. Any other fruits that we need to be aware of? I heard pineapple is similar to that as well.
Oh no, pineapple is fine so long as it's paired with other citrus fruits.
Okay.
It's fine. Uh,
Okay.
but keeping it simple and safe. My rule is a rule of three when I'm juicing. Any just three fruits tops, and that's enough. After that, you start betting on the taste. It could be good for you, but does it taste good? Probably not.
Hmm.
So just keep it simple, keep it in the same categories generally. Um, and acid fruits like citrus are not ideal to be paired with sweet fruits like bananas, right? They are complete opposites. They do not like each other,
Hmm.
and they should not be consumed together. I made a mistake when I first started juicing. I thought I was doing it right. I would have my orange juice and my banana and snacks.
Mhm.
I thought I really, and then this is a thing when we're transitioning into a new dietary lifestyle.
Mhm.
We tend to go all in without doing the research to prepare ourselves and
Yes.
to prepare our gut. So what can happen and what happened to me is that I didn't know about like um, the um, the proper combining process and
Mhm.
also ingredients and even the foods I was eating. That changes over time with different companies, different brands, and they know how to trick us with their labeling, with
Mm.
their packaging. And unbeknownst to us, we consume the things that we know and love, and it's traditional to our family diet. And for me, I guess I was the chosen one to go through the process so I could learn what all was going on, because I was really intentional about healing my body, uh,
Mm.
but also using that information to help others.
Indeed, indeed. All right, we got a Tresser said, "Blessed evening, family, health, and wellness to all, keeping it joyful and juicy." Thank you for joining us. So, Marcus said, "Now I want to go to Smoothie King."
No, 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 we don't want to do that, Marcus.
Well, tell us why you say no, no, no.
Because see, it's just a lot of sugar in there.
Mm.
And it might be too much sugar that you don't need in your body. And plus, oftentimes when I go to juice bars or smoothie bars, I look at the menu. I see how some of the recipes, how they list them,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, this is not. I already know it will be a situation in my gut just by reading the menu, because I know the rules of what are to be paired together. And oftentimes they're just throwing different things together. It tastes good, but it's
Mm.
not good for you.
You.
Um,
Okay.
and they also add a whole lot of sugar to keep you coming back, keep you addicted to their product.
Gotcha. All right. We got Mr. John Weiss on. He is in Jacksonville. He said, if I'm new to juicing, how should I start?
Well, good question, John.
It's a good question.
How to start juicing? You can start with a basic blender, which I had when I first started. You need the essential equipments like a blender or a juicer,
Mm.
uh, a juice bag, which you can find online, and proper cutting utensils, cutting board, all of that jazz, and practicing good hygiene. So, you gotta wash your hands. That's the thing. People just jump in. You gotta make sure that you're not adding any bacteria into what you're doing. That's
Okay.
one of it.
Really?
Yeah, I watch people. I'm like, okay, you didn't wash your hands. I don't want that. All right. So uh, it's a basic practice, people might overlook. But anyways, I
Okay.
um you want to have the fundamentals, the equipment in your home, all of that stuff. You want to do juicing at a regular schedule.
Okay.
And that juice optimal times to juice are in the morning, from like 8 to noon. So you can have a fruit juice, vegetable juice, a nut milk protein shake, like every 2 hours. And also, of course, don't forget water. Um, but once you start juicing, you got to follow the rules of proper combining fruits or vegetables, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but to be consistent, you want to do it at the same time of day. And it's ideal to do it in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
um, because you had just woken up from your
Rest.
extended rest, right? About 8 hours. So this is where you are breaking fast, essentially. And generally, what happens when we wake up and uh, the standard American diet, we have like heavy breakfast foods. And
Mm.
the first thing, when you consume that first, you set your gut for disruption all day. So when you start with juicing in the morning time and you gradually get yourself to eating like the, heavier, hearty foods
Mm.
by afternoon time, then you give yourself a good chance of properly having good digestion. And that's the most important key here for me, at least in juicing, from what my early experiences, which led me here. Um, so you want to make sure that you have all the proper utensils. Um, uh, what else you'll need? A good blender, but you can always use your hands having a juice bag. And it's fun. Yes, someone said it could be messy, but
Yes.
you learn in the mess, right? You have children in the room with you, in the kitchen with you, and it's fun. Um, Somebody said they have waffles.
Right. Waffles, hash brown, and bacon. Those are the three ingredients.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, that's not the breakfast you want to have.
Right. Dr. B said, I love a simple red cabbage juice. Huh.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. B. Okay, that's he got.
Okay. I don't know what that means,
Yeah,
but
because that's a vegetable,
Mhm.
and it could be a bit have a tardy taste, and you have to have an acquired taste to be able to just do red cabbage juice on its own. So
Yes.
kudos to you, Dr. B.
Indeed, indeed. So we got Sonya B, the intimacy coach and certified sexologist on. She says she's loving this conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. All right. And so Marcus said we can learn in the mess. So I am curious, and I'm gonna do a little station ID in just a moment. What to do with the pulp that is extracted from the juice? And I'm gonna let you answer that in just a moment.
Okay.
But for those of you who are just joining us, I am on with Dr. Jeva St. Ford. Excuse me, and we are talking about how to juice and be juicy. We hadn't even got to the juicy part yet, but we're going to talk about that in just a moment. We have talked about some of the juicing eras, some of the juice groups, as well as how to get started with juicing. So, yeah, tell us, what do we do with this pulp that comes out of our juicer?
You can um
The only thing I could think to do is compost.
you can use it for compost if that's what you're into. You
Mhm.
can dehydrate it, and
Mm,
if you have a dehydrator,
okay.
th- generally people who are more experienced with juicing, they're likely to have a dehydrator at home.
Mhm.
Um, or you can put the pulp in some water, leave it in the fridge, and then press that pulp out later, and then have like a lighter taste of juice. It will be more diluted, of course, because it's pulp, but um, that's about as much I would do with it. I like my juice straight. Uh, I don't really like to play around with the pulp so much. I like the energy immediately.
All right, good deal. Sonia, she said, I love starting my day off with juice, so much lighter than heavier traditional breakfast food. Maya wants to know, what's your average cost of juicing monthly?
Question. I would say around $120, something like that, because I go to the grocery store every week, and I
Mhm.
have my I write my menu of what I want,
Okay.
and I just stick to that, right? I understand that some people, they think that juicing is very costly, but it really isn't when you budget for it, right? And when you budget for it, you have to swap out something. You're swapping something good. You're swapping something bad for something good, right? So this will help you like remove things that you generally like to add to your shopping cart but isn't good for you by adding more fruits and vegetables. So I would say around $30, $40 on fruits and vegetables, and that would hold me out for the week. And of
Wow.
course, adding water to it, gives me more volume.
Nice, 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 nice. So, Antoine wants to know, isn't that bitter? Talking about the cabbage. Or what do you add to the red cabbage?
Always talking to Dr. B there.
Uh-huh. So, Dr. B, if you don't mind letting us know. Rashad, I've seen that you can make your own pills with the leftover pulp. Hmm, interesting.
You
Like a
can, that's for the people who have the dehydrators and
okay,
capsules at home. So they're taking it to another level.
okay.
Sounds like Rashad for sure.
Um, Tanya B said, I love using the pulp. I use it, the carrot pulp, as a meat substitute for vegetarian spaghetti.
Hmm,
Nice. That's a good idea. Like
yeah.
that. All right, Amala, you can use the pulp, carrot pulp, as a binding for veggie burgers. Okay, look at y'all with the recipes. I love it.
See.
I love it. Rashad's laughing at you. All right, so we've talked a little bit about costs, and you juice every day?
Almost every day.
Almost every
But now when I first started, I did it every single day just because I wanted to get that discipline in, right? Soon as
day.
I saw my kitchen, it was a trigger for me. So that was like a juicy habit, which we'll talk about in a minute. But now I could do like all that I and want to drink for the week
Mm,
on in like 2 hours time on a Saturday morning.
wow.
Mhm.
And so does it keep well, like, refrigerated, or do you freeze it, or how does that work?
I drink it consistently, so it doesn't have time to spoil.
And you said you so within 2 hours on a Saturday, you can do it for the week,
Yeah.
so I'm just so Fridays you make on the Saturday before, and it
Yeah,
keep
so say for instance, I get my groceries on a Friday,
mm,
right?
mhm,
Um, then Saturday morning, I juice for like 2 hours for everything that I want to have. So I have my own gallons in the house, and I just store them in the refrigerator.
mhm,
And I would drink them as I would drink, other things when I used to buy juices from the grocery store.
okay.
Um,
But you know a lot of that grocery store stuff got preservatives in it.
Right. But and that's the thing with juicing, when you have fresh juice, it's like 7 days, but
Okay,
it's so delicious. Why would it even last that long, really?
I got you.
But 7 days tops. After that, it'll tell you that it's no longer consumable.
It'll tell you. Okay,
Mhm.
got it. Got it. Got it. All right. So we talked about how to start. We talked about equipment. We talked about times. Any particular combinations, or what does someone do to get started in terms of? I know you talked about the rule of three fruit. So would you just try three fruits that go well with each other, not, not mixing, just to try and see how your body reacts, or what would
Yeah.
your
So initially, um, where people, I would say first start with like mono fruits, right? And this is a single fruit, so you know how your body feels about it.
okay.
And this is part of being juicy, to be aware of how your body's communicating with you.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, when you start juicing, it starts to move things around, right? And you might be upset at juicing and say, I'm never juicing again. It made me feel upset, but really it's doing its job. It's clearing things out of you. But it is important that you give yourself some time to know what fruits your body is compatible with. A lot of times we have allergies to certain fruits or foods, and
Mm,
we are not paying attention to how our body is communicating that, this w- we don't like so much, and it might punish you by giving you upset stomach, itchy skin, pimples, things of that nature,
mm,
um you know vaginal dryness, ed. It's You have to learn to listen to your body. So I would say slow down, starting, playing with one fruit at a time. Then you could like pair in the right combinations, of course, and then work your way up to three.
okay, so I love that. Again, we're all about you knowing your body, and the best way to do that, I like the idea of the starting with one fruit so you can see how your body reacts with it.
Mm.
We have some comments. So Antoine said, "No lie, it's not going to last. It tastes so good."
It. So good.
All right, Amala, she said, "I heard storing fresh juice in glass versus plastic
Yes.
allows it to last longer. Is that true?"
Uh, I never stored my juice in plastic, so I can't tell you if it's true. I just know I only use glass.
Okay, gotcha. So glass containers versus plastic.
Mhm.
John wants to know, what's your favorite juice combination?
Oh man, this is hard. Why do you do
You
that?
knew that was gonna be hard for you.
Oh goodness. Because it depends on my mood. Sometimes, okay, always I have to have mango, passion fruit, and ginger. It's just, I'm a Caribbean girl. I just have to have those. They're essential for me.
Okay.
Because mangoes are subacid fruits, and they pair well with passion fruit. And ginger is a root, and it just spices it up. That's my favorite.
Mm,
What else? I messed around and created a flush, right? And it had herbs in it. I didn't mention the herbs. I was using cilantro, parsley, apples, uh, forget the other ingredient. But I would say that was a flush that I did not expect, because I was just downing it all day because it tastes delicious to me, right? And
mm.
then the next day I was like, hold up, what's happening? So I realized that was a good something I could use if I ever felt like, my body wasn't like moving, digesting in the optimal time period.
Gotcha. John further asked to share the different mood combos,
Excuse me?
the different mood combinations. Are there some combinations that may affect your mood?
Oh yeah, okay. So good question. So we have this gut brain biofeedback, right? So this is where your gut is communicating to your brain. And what happens here is that when certain foods or fruits, and I'm I'm mentioning both because it has the same effect.
Mm-hmm.
What happens here is that it tells it is this bi-directional communication and interaction between the gut and the brain. And so here, this communication it occurs through various pathways, including your nervous system, your hormones, and gut microbia. And what happens essentially is that the functioning of the gut it influences the brain and vice versa. So the gut is telling the brain how to feel about what you just put in there, right? So, say for instance, you poorly combine some fruits, you are going to start to feel tired because it will start to ferment in your gut. And so essentially it's like fermentation is alcohol, and it brings your energy down instead of the appropriate spike or energy that we are expecting. So for you, your gut will communicate to your brain, and it'll tell you how you're feeling, and sometimes it'll bring your mood down, and you won't really pinpoint what's going on, right? And then now your gut is calling for uh worse combinations of food. It's just a weird thing. Like if you started off right, it's going to keep asking you for the right thing. If you started off poorly, it's going to desire taste for things that are going to make you feel worse. It's a weird thing that happens.
Gotcha. We got my girlfriend Susan from Virginia chiming in. Thank you for joining us. And Miss Cynthia Mobley Howell in Central Florida. Thank you for joining us. So Loving Us says, what fruits are best for losing weight, or what combinations work best for dieting?
Oh, wow. So I made a comment earlier about losing waste versus losing weight. So when you start to juice more often and more frequently, because someone said they might juice once a week, and I would encourage you to juice more than that. To losing When you start juicing, it's a flush, right? It's removing toxins, it's removing um bowels that are just lodged in there in your gut. And so I would say, when you just be mindful of doing it consistently, and you'll start to lose waste, and the weight will come off right along with it. You won't have to think so much about it, because the juice it does the exercise for you, right? But when you have juice with more pulp in it, now it's having to do more work. And
Mm-hmm.
juice, it just allows it to just get to your blood much quicker and starts to move things around. It's like massaging your gut and pushing things down. So I would say focus on doing it more consistently, so you can move the things that don't want to be there for real.
Indeed. All right. Antoine want to know, what's your stance on turmeric?
Uh, it, you know what? Earlier today, I ran into one of the elders that I know in my department, and she had a turmeric, talking about, it's good for her. She likes to take it for immunity, and I support that. And I was like, go ahead, doc, continue to do that. You're doing good. So, if you're feeling like you need a boost for immunity, ginger and turmeric is a good combination with some maybe a lemon shot also.
Lemon shot? Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Dr. B, I add nothing. To me, it tastes delicious and revitalizing after fasting. I also like cucumber, ginger, apple, and lime. Okay. as well as a straight watermelon is good too, but I would only fast on it because it tends to want to be the only thing in my system when I eat and drink it, which you did mention that earlier.
Mhm.
And then Dr. B also said veggie pulp can also be used to make vegetable stock. Oh, that's a good idea. Or composted tea. Okay, great. Antoine said thank you. All right. Seems like there was somebody else. No, maybe not. Okay. So let's get to the juicy part. Like we talked about juicing making us juicy.
Mhm.
So how and why is that? Now, I will lead this discussion by saying that I have heard
Mm.
um, that, like, for instance, consuming pineapple juice.
Oh, here we go.
Look, I'm trying to dispel the myths if these are true or not. Listen,
Oh,
so have been supposedly helpful in with women in making them more juicy and tasty.
uh-huh.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, not just pineapple juice, I would say, if that answers the question.
Okay. All right. Antoine said, I say true.
Yeah, so yeah, where did we hear about that? I think it was on some comedy skit, and then people kind of went with it. But when you juice uh frequently, your body starts to feel more, is it okay to say lubricated, moist?
Yes, you
Okay,
can say
okay.
whatever you. Yes.
You start to feel juicy, and I when I'm working with people, I hold back that information because I want them to do the work, and then they're like, let me tell you what happened, right? So then they start telling me about how they're feeling more sensual, more juicy, and wanting to, like, engage with their partners more, right? And so
Hmm.
it moves you to be more primal in nature. And
Hmm.
so it's any if you juice consistently, whatever the juice is, whether you're juicing fruits or vegetables, you will feel juicy. I'll say that. I'll say that. So it's not just pineapple juice. You'll feel juicy, and you will taste better if that's what you want someone to enjoy you for. Yes, definitely.
Antoine said, "Oh, she's smiling." And Dr. B said, "Proper hydration."
Proper hydration. I like that, Dr. B. That was nice. Real
Mhm.
clean.
That was very clean, very clean. And so again, one of the benefits of juicing that I had never heard of before talking to Dr. Jiva is this whole um idea, concept, and evidently reality that there's this hydration that comes about as it relates to it.
Oh yes, yes. And with that, feeling juicy, it is a lifestyle. It's not something that you do sporadically and expect to, reap those benefits. You're clearing out the toxins in your body, right?
Mhm.
And then your body will call more for that energy from the juice. Um, and I would say you have to create some juicy habits in your lifestyle, which is what my coaching program offers, where you are essentially having juicy triggers throughout the day, right? And by that, I mean daily actions that remind you to do something that is going to make you feel good, right? We tend to give ourselves to everything that we're doing, which
Mhm.
is why juicing in the morning time, or even at night to prep for your morning consumption. So
Yeah.
once you're doing that activity, you're making time for yourself, right? You're setting that intention, like, this is me time. This is my self-care act, which is what it is for me. And everything else for throughout the day, you want to meet your goals. So you might set your alarm as a reminder to do something, as an action that's going
Mhm.
to make you feel more juicy about meeting goals. So it is it is juice that you consume, but it's a juicy feeling that you want to keep going on and on. You don't want it to end.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Question. Organic versus non-organic fruits and vegetables.
What you say?
Organic versus non-organic.
Oh, that's okay. Well, reading labels is important.
Uh-huh.
Um, the organic may cost you like 20 extra cents. Pay that 20 extra cents, right? Because if you ever did an experiment, which I do, I would get the non-organic or commercial fruits or vegetables, and I'll leave them, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll see the shelf life of it. And I tell you, it is scary when you have genetically modified fruits on the counter. Like they're just there. Nothing happens, nothing changes, it doesn't decay at all.
Yeah.
And you start to think about like what is that doing inside of my body, right?
Right.
And how is that contributing to how I feel, when we're going back to that gut brain biofeedback we talked about earlier. So I would say if it is just a few extra cents, that'll make a real big difference in your life.
Okay. And then consuming fruits and vegetables that are not in season. Any thoughts around that?
I know it is a good rule to eat fruits in season, but I love watermelon any time of the year. I have it all the time. I don't care. But generally, you get the most nutrition out of fruits and vegetables when in season.
Okay. All right. Very good. Wow. We have covered a lot. All right. Marlene is on. She said organic for me from now on. Yes. 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 Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So, man, my wheels are still turning. Any other juicing errors, wrong combinations we heard, but anything else that we need to be mindful of in terms of juicing errors or kind of mishaps?
Um, I would say uh juicing and eating food at the same time,
Hmm.
or I mean drinking juice and eating food at the same time. uh,
Okay.
can juice and have a drink and wait about an hour before you consume food. When you're doing
Okay.
it together, now you're causing fermentation. Your body is going to start fight. Your digestive system is going to start fighting again, and that could impact your sleep because the digestive system has a time of day that it works, or at least it's supposed to work. But
Right.
when you're putting things in there that are improper, now is working extra hard. And even when you're attempting to sleep, or you are in bed, and then you wake up 8 hours later and you feel restless, you're like, I feel like I slept 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
it's because your digestive system, it was working for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
part of a proper juicing habit is to drink an hour before or an hour after you eat, but also eating in appropriate windows of the day.
Gotcha. All right. And there's a question about the fruit fiber and pulp to balance blood sugar.
Oh yes. Yeah, for people who do have blood sugar concerns,
Yeah.
definitely you must talk with your physician, right? You always want to let them know what you're doing that can adjust what's going on with you.
Yeah.
And of course, I have to say that because I am not a physician.
Right. Right.
But also, um, add more water to your juices, especially if you have blood sugar concern.
Issues. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Good to know. All right, we got brother Imani on. He's trying to steal our thunder here. How do I find out more about your juicing program? I'm just kidding, brother Imani. That's a great segue. So I'm going to give you an opportunity, Dr. Jeva, to give us some closing remarks and tell the people how they can find out about your juicing program and how they can connect with you.
Oh, thank you for that. Yes, you could find me at Jeva.juice on Instagram and Facebook. I'll have my website launched by the end of this week on there with my program, where I have my ebook that I put together, the individualized program, so we can talk about what's going on with you specifically if need be. Also, you can call me. I think, yeah, you have my number there. Thank you. Yeah, call me. Send me an email at jivajuicecode@gmail.com, and Facebook and Instagram, jiva.juice.
All right, very good. Any closing remarks?
Oh, well, for you, I heard you sniffling earlier.
Don't be calling me out on my show.
I'm checking in on you. I'm concerned.
I appreciate
So, I would say, yeah, I recommend you do a ginger and turmeric shot for tomorrow morning if you can, and some orange juice throughout up until noon, and it'll be gone.
it. Really?
Mm-hmm. Add some cayenne in there. That's just a freebie.
Okay. Ginger and turmeric. So I don't have, what if I don't have, I have ginger root, but I don't have turmeric root. But I need that. I need to juice that or
Yeah, you just throw that in um, a blender or juicer.
okay.
And earlier today, quick note before you go out. Earlier, I met this young woman who was wanting to. She learned about what I do,
Uh-huh.
and she was talking about getting an expensive blender, which that is ideal. But you can start where you are. If you have a blender, she wanted expensive juice. Excuse me. If you have a NutriBullet or a commercial blender, you can start there. What
What
you
about a
say?
ninja?
A ninja is fine.
Okay.
And you get a juice bag. So you do the first step,
Right.
and put the contents in the juice bag on with a bowl, of course, and squeeze that out. Use your hands. That's also a fundamental equipment that we all have, and we don't have to spend $2,000 on a juicer. You don't have to do that. You can start where you are and get what you need immediately.
All right, cool. We got comments chiming in. High class casual, very insightful information. Thank you, Dr. Jiva, for sharing. Amanla, that's the immune shop. My mama always had the combo it on deck growing up.
Yes,
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, GMO foods are plastic. Yes.
absolutely.
Thank you, Jiva. This is great information. Yes, thank you. Great show tonight, Queens. Thank you, Dr. Shabaka. Appreciate you. Dr. B, if you don't have it, you can mix in the dry herb too. That really was my question, Dr. B. You read,
Oh, the turmeric.
yeah,
Yes, definitely. You can get that in the dry herb
because
form.
I do have the dry. I just don't have the root right now.
I like it. You can do
I know. Listen, you bush woman. I know. We got.
it. I am.
All right. Yes, Ginger and Turmeric got me through COVID. All right, Reese. Thank you. And oh my goodness, Susan. So I went to her house in Virginia in July, and she is a juice master. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. She said
We
I'm an
should
avid juicer. I really enjoyed this conversation. Yes.
Yeah. We should link up, Susan. I never met you, but I'm excited. I like people who like to juice. Make a mess, guys. Don't be afraid. It's okay. It won't take you much to clean it up.
Yeah.
It's fun, and you're spending time with yourself or a loved one, and creating new stuff. But just make sure that you keep it simple and safe. That's Best.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I have used the Jack LaLanne top loader for years. It's pretty good. That's who I remember. Jack LaLanne. Now, Dr. B, you telling your age right now. Because that was the first person I ever saw juice. All
Yes.
right. He said, thank you, Dr. Jeva. Stay juicy. We got Mama Yada on. Dr. Jeva.
Hey, Yada.
Thank you for
Mama
being
Yada.
here. Yes. All right. Susan said, will do. Jeanette, Miss Jeanette in Miami Gardens. Good information. Thank you for joining us, Miss Jeanette. Royal Bush. Okay. I guess you'll expound upon that a little later, Dr. B. All right.
Like it.
So, for those of you who are new to the platform, of course, I have to invite you to subscribe to the Conversations with Nicole YouTube channel. Subscribing and supporting. We need all the support we can get. And I am personally asking each and every one of you to play one Conversations with Nicole video every day. You don't have to watch it. I just need you to play it. I'm trying to get to 4,000 viewing hours by January 31st. So please play a video. Play it tonight before you go to bed. I'm just trying to get to 4,000 viewing hours. That will help me out tremendously. All right. So yeah, like, subscribe, and be here. So our talk on Wednesday is with April Fitzpatrick, who is a visual artist, but she also does pineapples with the purpose. She has a whole curriculum and talk that she does around pineapples and mental health. And so our talk is going to be on how to find your art. How to find your art. So we'll be back here live at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Dr. Jiva,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. And let's link up to Juice together and show the people how.
Yes, we're gonna do a juicy show, y'all. So y'all got to tune in for that. Look. We're gonna have our rule of three. We're gonna have our juicer. We're gonna be in the same place, and we're gonna be live, so y'all can juice with us. All right. All right, we got a few more folks chiming in. That's my goal, juicing and eating at appropriate times. All right, you can do it. You can do it. Maya, great tips, great conversation. Thank you. Our pleasure. Mama Yada, let's go. Wonderful. All right. Kesey, she said done. All right. Great set. Looking forward to other times and topics. Awesome. Thank you so much. And great job, Jeeves. Very informative. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, good people. We are going to give you back some of your time. We're a little bit over, but I thank you for your conversation. Y'all were great tonight. Great interaction. And let's keep this conversation going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. And hey, don't do the wrong combinations when you juicing. Start
Yeah,
off with a single juice first, see how your body reacts, and then progress to two and then to three.
that's right.
All right, very good. All right, we'll see y'all next time.